Hello, Astro Family. Today we're going to be diving into the connections between Leos and Cancers, specifically Leos born between July 26th through August 8th, and Cancers born between June 25th through July 2nd. To enter for a chance of a free reading, something similar to what I'm going to do today, feel free to comment yours and your partner's birthday down below. So, this is a really interesting combination because Leos and Cancers are like complete opposites: fire, water, cardinal, fixed. So, let's talk about Cancers first. In some astrological circles, this week of the Cancers is known as the week of empath. Cancers are deeply emotional, but don't mistake their sensitivity for weakness. They're ruled by the moon. Their emotional tide can match any fire intensity when they are pushed. They possess a heightened emotional perception. However, depending on past heartbreaks or unhealed trauma, it can take time for some cancers to fully step into this gift. But they're very intuitive. Then we have Leos, specifically those born between the week of authority. When a Leo is fully grounded and aligned, their willpower and vibrant, outgoing nature, it really shines. Like you could actually see it. Now, for some people, being outgoing is just a distraction to not sit with those uncomfortable feelings. But for a healed Leo, it's the complete opposite. A healed Leo radiance energy actually uplifts and heals others rather than seeking an escape. You can feel the difference. One leads to feeling like a burden eventually. At some point, it feels like the happy, freeing energy has a cost. It's the opposite with a healed Leo. That cost feeling doesn't come up. They hold high standards for themselves and those that they love. They offer incredible devotion, but they also expect that same devotion in return to them. In an unhealed Leo, this can look like expectations, like towards their ego. Like it could look like they need you to take accountability for actions that you don't did to appease their ego. So that could mean like you're trying to hold them accountable for lying, but they keep telling you that they don't want to talk about it now, and if you keep bringing it up, like they get mad. Like that's a sign of an unhealed Leo. Well, it's a sign of an unhealed person, but especially towards Leo, because fixed signs try to protect their ego the most. And that's where like a lot of the rockiness could start, is if you can't find a balance with this. Cancers carry a heavy world of emotions, which take a lot of energy from them to deal with on a daily basis. Sometimes that emotional labor makes it hard to give Leo the full, uninterrupted devotion that they crave. For Cancers, the lesson here is learning not to abandon themselves just to suit their partner or take the blame for something that they didn't do. Boundaries are essential for Cancers early on so they don't get taken advantage of. Not setting healthy inner boundaries can lead to having resentment for those around you and for your relationship. Because you're ruled by the moon, these can come out as like emotionally fueled remarks or actions. Sometimes you'll be hiding it like, oh, I just meant it as a joke, when you know you meant it as a jab. Leos can get caught up in the same cycle as well. High devotion is only healthy when there is a balance. Without that balance, it strips away the independence in the relationship, leaving one or both partners feeling overly needy, unlike another, or not being able to spend time alone, do things alone. If you can find the sweet spot of balance between all of this, a long-term commitment or marriage between these two is incredible. An exercise that can help you create that balance in your connection is, first step is like define your goals in the partnership. Define them externally and internally. Then ask yourself these two questions. So, do your habits and routine match up your goals? And do your reactions to your thoughts and feelings match up your goals? It's not about like watching your feelings. It's more about how do your actions come out towards that feelings? Because you could like feel and think a million things, but the action is what matters. So are your feelings, like when you have a petty feeling or a negative feeling, is there an action behind it towards the relationship? That's important for you to notice.